What's good? I go to name Dope Son. Welcome to the channel if you know. Welcome back to the channel if you an OG. On this spooky season month, hold on, let me pause it there. You're probably like, wait a minute, it's not October. What are you talking about? Originally, this video was recorded on 10/9/25, which is October 9th, 2025. You ain't good with numbers. But I never finished the upload, so on and so forth. Shut your mouth. Let's get back to what this video is about. So we are playing V Rising. This is one of the newest releases that are free for PlayStation. If not, I think it costs like $24 or something like that. Anyway, originally this game was brought to my attention by my boy 47. We was in a game rut. We really didn't have nothing to play but Apex, and I was getting tired of Apex as long with Z, so on and so forth. Shit was stressful. It was getting old. So this was brought to my attention, did some deep diving and looked at it, and this shit looked like it was ass. I said, there's no way in hell I'm paying $40 for this game we about to play one time. Yeah, I learned my lesson from buying Raven Watch, but that's not what this is about. I'm going to quickly describe this game in a nutshell as best as I can, and then I'll deep explain to kind of save you some time if you don't want to watch the whole video, but you still get your point across. Respect your time. So, in a sense, this game is mainly a sandbox role playing where you play as a vampire who has to kill bosses to get new abilities or blood spells. You also get to build a spectacular giant castle, multi-floor decorations, and get servants, which are also another main part of the game. But I'll talk about that in detail in just a couple minutes. If that sounds interesting to you, then by all means, keep watching the video. Let me see if I can persuade you to try Revising, or for you to form your own opinion to see if you're going to try it yourself based on what I tell you. But when you first start off the game, I'm gonna quickly push through this part because this is the boring bit, and then I'll get to like the core of the gameplay and stuff. You'll start off in a crypt, walk out the door, and end up getting to a graveyard. Here is basically just a tutorial area. I'm gonna be honest with you. They give you a couple basic skeletons as well as make you collect bones, do basic crafting. You create your first weapon, your rings, etc. And then they push you off to the real world where you will then begin the V Rising game loop, which I'm going to list from 1 to 4, and then I will break down each individual thing in depth. 1 is harvesting / gathering materials. You'll be doing a lot of this, and I mean a lot of it, all the way from the beginning stages all the way to late game. It's a little easier in the late game because you can get servants, but I'll touch on that in a second. 2 is going to be crafting / building your castle and workstations. Again, you will be doing a lot of this to a certain extent until you get to a point. 3 is killing bosses. This is going to be the main part of the game, which is killing bosses to upgrade your gear level, progress, so on and so forth, which I'll touch on the XP system in a second as well. And 4 is gathering servants, which is one of the most important things in this game, besides killing bosses, I feel like. Now, let's talk about them in depth, shall we? So, first of all, you're going to be collecting a lot of materials in this game, which is why it's important to kind of do your base stuff, etc. But we have everything from copper, wood, stone, as well as some mythical, I'm going to call them that, aka rare resources that you'll get throughout the game. As you run around, you will see these little resource nodes. Some regular like stone, a couple like a little different. This is sulfur for an example, as well as you will come across some special ones, aka this one. Every node will let you know what it is based on what it looks like. Now, on harvesting certain nodes, you'll see an attack level is too low, which means you don't have the proper strength in order to break it, which is where the weapons come into play. The mace is stronger against material blocks or resources, so you're going to require this or a specific type of form, which I'm not going to spoil it for you, to break some of these nodes. And then obviously after you break it, you'll get their respective resources from it. So of course, familiarize yourself with it because you will be doing a lot of this. Of course, that will lead you into the second section, which is the building workshops, aka your castle and or base. You are required to put a castle heart down, which will be the core to your base. In PvP, this is what you need to protect or it'll be destroyed, but we're talking about in general. So this is just going to be the core of your base. From here, you have to build floors in order to actually build structures like walls, workshop, benches, so on and so forth inside of the structure. Some things don't require a floor to build upon. Most of them do though. So this is how you expand your base to keep it very short and simple. Now, if you remember early in the video, I did mention we do not have the traditional XP system. The only way to actually get stronger or level up in this game is by killing the bosses, aka V Bloods. Each one offers a different amount or a different variant of rewards. Some are transformations. A lot of them are workstations or the ability to craft certain things, aka leather. And each one also gives you a different skill perk. Now, there are different magic trees in this game or vampire powers. We have blood magic, which is like lifesteal leech. There's chaos, which is fire. Unholy, which increases damage, as well as spawn skeletons. Illusion, which is weakening. Frost, which is freeze, slow down enemies. And storm, which increases attack speed, stuff of that manner. And then, of course, on the last bit, you have your passives, which exactly what they do. They passively boost some of these skills. And I also think it's important to mention that 9 times out of 10, you will be at the score level and or right below whatever V boss you're trying to kill. So it really is kind of memorizing their pattern, and it has that small amount of get good factor, as I mentioned earlier too as well. But each one is very rewarding to fight. I will say that at the very least. You might die a couple times, get used to it. And that will bring us to number 4, converting slash dominating thralls, aka servants. This is one of the most important tasks in the game that will make the less tedious stuff a lot more tedious, to say the least. In order to get them, you will have to kill a specific type of E-Blood. I'll leave the surprise for you, which will then unlock the dominating charm spell. After you get a NPC below 30% health, you can do the spell on them, and it charms them, which then they start to follow you. After that, you will bring them back to your servant coffin that you built in your base. You can even run back to it or use a horse. I advise using a horse. It's faster, but you cannot teleport while they're following you or use any other spells. You can attack and use some of your abilities. That's about it. And they can die by getting hit by AoE effects from ads, but ads will not specifically attack them. They will aim for you. You then also can use a prison cell, which will be your main source of getting blood. Now, of course, your vampire blood is very important in this game, as it will keep you alive, keep you from frail. I'm not going to go ahead and deep dive into the different types of blood and what it does, but long story short, the higher the blood quality, the better for you. And if they have this red aura effect around them, that means they're of high quality, so it might be worth dominating them and bringing them back to your base for their blood type. Now, to actually command your servants, you will need a castle throne. As you explore the map, you'll know like these little circles in the map itself. They will tell you what kind of resources and materials you can get from that actual area specifically. You can then send your people into that area for however long you want to send them, anywhere from 16 hours to 2% hours. I said 2%. From 2 hours all the way up to 16 hours. The longer they stay, the more they get, as well as you get the planning bonus for them. Now, if your thralls are like mine and they have stuff inside of them, it will tell you they already have stuff in their inventory and you cannot send them anywhere. You'll notice the special icons above each specific thrall. That means they get the bonuses in the area, so to speak. So, if I go click on the area, you'll notice like the little forest icon, which means the forest icon, people have an additional bonus they get in that area. And the longer you send them, obviously, the more success rate goes up. But after you see that it's 100, you really don't have anything to worry about because they're guaranteed to succeed. But on to the minor mechanics. One being the sun. What is a vampire game without the vulnerability to the sun, right? The sun works a little bit differently in this game, though. You can be out during daylight hours. You just can't be in direct sunlight for too long. There is a potion that will help kind of increase the window of time that you have to duck out of the sun. But the way to kind of maneuver this is to get in the shadows. As long as you touch any shadow, like you're behind any shadow, whether it be a tree, a rock, whatever the case may be, the sun moves throughout the day. So you can kind of break the lines of sight and reset the timer every time you do this. So just be aware of that. That's about it. As well as bosses. Bosses can and will fight each other if they're of different. I'm using factions very loosely, but if they're of different factions, use this to your advantage because you can have one boss kill another for you. And once the boss itself goes down, even if you die, when you come back to that area where the boss was at, you can then devour them and take their blood. So don't be too worried about if you down a boss and they end up dying. It's fine. You can just go back and suck their blood or whatever. They're down. I don't know the amount of time, but they're down for a good little minute. But yes, use this to your advantage. And the last thing I want to touch on before I let y'all go is the color system. As you can see here, this boss is red and I can do damage to them. Well, a decent amount of damage to them. It just means that they're at a higher skill level than, or a higher gear level than me, and they will hit me like a truck. But they are beatable. If they're red with a skull icon, as y'all seen in the previous clip, it basically means don't even try it because you will do barely any damage to them, and they're damn near to 1 or 2 shot you. If they're yellow, basically means they're in the same gear span as you, so it will be slightly, a little challenging, but they are well beatable. And if they're gray, which I don't think y'all see any gray enemies, it means you're way above their level, and they're basically easy pickings for you. They'll still do the damage to you, but it should be a no problem at all. There are also fast travel systems in this game, or waypoints, as you can see the vampire waygate. So as you explore the map, you will unlock these. You do not have to be directly beside them, but kind of just in the just of their area, and they'll unlock for you. So that'll make transportation easier, as well as the horse thing. I didn't really cover that too much, but after you run around the map, you'll find certain areas where you can find horses. Horses, you can just jump on them, and they'll show the icon as the horse icon on it. There's a whole stat thing and everything that goes into that. But horses are the best way of transportation. You will go the fastest. But if you get the wolf form, that'll speed you up just a little bit more, which you get by killing the first boss. But with all that being said, I pretty much laid out the groundwork to hopefully help you make a decision if this is a game you worth trying. I extremely recommend it after playing it. Now, as y'all seen in the beginning, or heard in the beginning, I was extremely skeptical on this fucking game. As far as buying it and paying for it. To me, I would not pay $40 for the $20 for this game, absolutely. But even when it's free, this game is fun as hell and spectacular. Again, I was extremely skeptical in the beginning, but now I have over 60 hours in this fucking game. The building is extremely satisfiable. The weapon system, I like how it's very rewarding, to say the very least. The longer you play it, the more you learn, etc. So that's pretty much all I got for you. I tried to keep it under 15 minutes the best way I could, but it's still covering everything. This helps you make a decision. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. Is this a game that you're going to be worth trying? If you're currently playing V-Rising, what is your favorite weapon? I didn't touch on the weapons, but there are multiple to play with, to unlock, etc. And or spell combo. What's the favorite spell combo? I know everybody's different, etc. But I go by the name Dope Something. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Dope was back again. Leave a like if this helps you. Comment, let me know something. And hopefully I will see y'all in the next video or whatever I may make. Peace.